So this is basically an AI or deep learning based set of tools that take an input abdominal CT and automatically measure a bunch of different characteristics about it. And the reason this is so powerful is because by the age of 65 or so, almost everybody will have had an abdominal CT scan. And so if you can make measurements like this automatically in the background and then correlate them with different types of outcomes, you can help guide people into sort of better preventative care and things like that. It's not just, you need to hop on the Mediterranean diet and lose 15 pounds. It's more, hopefully more guided in a way to give real tangible feedback to people as they improve their health. The idea is somebody may come in to get imaging done, they have a CT scan performed, maybe they're coming into the emergency department with flank pain because they have a kidney stone or something like that, and the radiologist who's looking at that study is going to be trying to focus on the task sort of given to them by whoever ordered the study, so rule out kidney stone or look for bleeds or things like that. But they could theoretically go in and they could measure things like bone density or muscle density, they could look at liver fat, distribution of fat, look for plaque that's not expected in the vessels and things like that, but there's just not time in the day for it. And so opportunistic screening is this sort of path to measure all sorts of things like that out of a scan, going beyond sort of the reason for the exam, but to do it automatically for every scan that comes in. We've been focusing on opportunistic screening for years and using it to predict things like cardiovascular health, hip fracture risk, and things along those lines. But in this work, what we've really specifically tried to do is look more generally at, can you take those biomarkers that are being measured automatically and use them to predict overall sort of how healthy someone is. In other words, what's their effective biological age compared with their chronological age. What we have developed is to basically an extension of the existing opportunistic screening tools that we have built over the years. And so this is basically an AI or deep learning based set of tools that take an input abdominal CT and automatically measure a bunch of different characteristics about it. And so those include things like trabecular bone density, aortic plaque, muscle density and distribution, fat distribution as well as bulk, and then different organs, so looking at things like the liver, the spleen, and the kidneys for volumes and densities to pick up things like fat and so on. And then with these different measurements, we can actually feed those into a predictive model that takes a patient and compares basically the output of this model with their actual chronological age to predict basically how their aging is compared to other sort of people who are the same age or racial, ethnic background and so on. One of the things that's very distinct and different about the method that we've taken, which is using imaging biomarkers, is that the sort of input values to the model that we've created here are basically imaging characteristics that are derived from these CT scans opportunistically. And so the idea is that many of these things may be reversible. So if you have a very advanced biological age derived from these markers that's based on aortic plaque and fat, there may be medical or lifestyle changes that can be implemented to sort of help reverse that, which is very appealing. This is measuring actually what's happened on an individual basis, and so this has the potential to be very precise on a per patient or per person basis. So we have so far been using these tools primarily in a research setting. So we've been working through a large sort of retrospective multi-center study. We've been processing a huge number of exams from patients here at the UW and predicting outcomes and looking at that. And then also working with many other sites at different universities to prove that these tools not only work here on our patient population where they've been built and developed, but actually can apply regardless of where they're being used or performed. The long-term goal for this, since it is being performed opportunistically, is to think really carefully about the clinical pathways for a tool like this, because again, since this is being performed opportunistically, at least today, if somebody's coming to the emergency department to rule out a bleed or something like that, they're going to be ready to leave when they know that that's not a problem anymore. And so one of the goals for this is to not only use it to help educate patients, but to also sort of educate and sort of provide additional information to downstream providers. So the next time, a patient leaves the ER, they're relieved, they don't have a bleed, and then the next time they go to their primary care doctor, they can sit down and have a discussion about, hey, here are these other characteristics that were picked up on the scan. no emergency, which is great, but here's things we can do to help improve sort of your overall aging and things like that. One of the things I love about this sort of field of opportunistic screening is that one of the goals is to do more than just get somebody back to baseline, but to find a way to actually help them live their healthiest, best life to prevent stuff from happening in the first place.
Hi, I'm Janine Bermania, the Senior Director of IP and Licensing. If you've liked what you've heard and want to know more about this promising innovation, please reach out to us using the contact information on your screen. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more great videos from WARF.